Hi everyone, it's David here from Kinetyca. So I want to show something super exciting that we have developed here at Kinetyca, which is our console. It's our control center that shows us where everything stands with every client that we work with. What is the current status there? How can you improve? How can we get to the best results possible? And it shows us also what happens on the sales side of things. So this is how this looks like. Let me now go actually to the general console overview, and let me go to the sales console. I had another video where I talked already about the delivery side of things, but now I would like to talk a little bit about the sales side of things. So we have developed this for ourselves, but we are using this also for our clients, and we are actually developing this also for some of our clients when they are interested in this, because it can boost up the sales conversions dramatically. And it also makes a few other SaaS platforms obsolete when they're using them at the same time. So let's take a look here at the sales console, what we see here. So first of all, in this overview, we just see the most important stats for ourselves, right? So I see what do I need to do today, right now. I see what's happening on the funnel perspective. I see what happens on the won deals. I see where I have to improve right now, also on the sales side of things. By the way, these numbers are demo numbers, right? So of course we cannot show our real numbers here right now, and especially because there's also like real client information, right? So these are like made up numbers, but they show exactly what is happening. So let's take a look at this. Now, one of the things that is interesting for me is conversion metrics. And yes, you can see this in the CRM. In theory, you can see this in the CRM. But to be honest, I don't like it in any CRM that I've seen so far. I really don't like the representation, the way how it's visualized there. And so I thought about a way, how can this be done in a more interesting way, one that really serves me, serves the way how I would like to see things. And I think this is something interesting in general when we think about SaaS and how it's evolving these days, because on one side, people think, well, we still will always need the SaaS there because of all the complexity in building apps. Yes, that's true in some way. But on the other hand, the problem with many SaaS is also that we are not using all the functionalities, and we don't maybe like them in the exact way how they are. So this is why, for myself, when I'm working with these sales tools, and I'm used them constantly all the time, I find a lot of things that I would like to have different, right? And so this is why we built this for ourselves, but also for our clients right now here. And so we have, like, for example, we have a funnel view, right, where we see the positive replies. We can see the percentages between the different stages. We can see the attribution. Where did they come from, and what is the win rate over which one of these channels here right now, right? What is the won value from every one of these channels? And then we can see also cohorts, right? So we can see, okay, what happened in which month specifically. And we customize this completely for our clients. We show this in exactly the way they want this. We get the data from the different tools and show them exactly the way they want this, and really makes a difference for them specifically, right? So this is the conversion metrics. The next one is discovery call prepper. What's the idea here? So now let's take a look at how we can how this can help us. So let's say we have a discovery call with a company on Thursday, and now we can see here a lot of information that would be good if we mention this in the call, something that we should be watching out for, and something that we could maybe leave with, like the call in the end. And of course, some information, like some details in general, right? The company, when it was founded, what is the size of the company, where's the headquarters, etc. So all these things, like, I would look for when I have a discovery call. I would look at the website, I would look at their LinkedIn, I would look at all these different details in order to prepare myself and make sure that I lead with really the right framing and I identify even before the call what might be potential objections, what might be your potential pain points that are really relevant for them. And the thing is, I mean, it takes quite some time to do this before I have a call. And I mean, to be honest, sometimes I myself have between 5 to 10 discovery calls on a daily basis. And I really don't have the time to go through every one of these and go in detail and understand what's actually happening in these companies. So I think especially for companies that they have a lot of deals happening, and the ones where they say, okay, we have to really up our conversion rates, this might be super interesting. So we have done this also in the past. In the past, we have done this over Slack. We have sent out a report over Slack to the person, but we realized, okay, let's actually make like a mini app that can do this, that can help us here. And yes, I mean, it helps me massively, and I'm sure it helps. I'm sure there are many others that might benefit for something like this, right? And as I said, there are SaaS solutions that do this, but I mean, these things you can build yourself, or we can build this for you, and we can really make this in a way that suits your needs in the best way possible. The next thing is follow-ups. So here is, and this happens to me all the time as well, I'm dealing with a bunch of clients, and then, I mean, a bunch of leads that I would like to convert, but then I have to follow up to them. And I just forget about it, right? And yes, there are in the CRM, of course, you can have like tasks that you set. You can have automated tasks that come up, right? Or you can have automated follow-up sequences, but here it becomes a bit tricky because yes, you can automate nurturing of the ones that you actually don't, let's say the ones where you're not yet in the negotiation stage, you can nurture them in an automated way, that's fine. But once you get with somebody in the negotiation stage, it still might take weeks and months till you close it. But you cannot then automate the nurturing process because the details are just too individual there, right? But what would help is if I can see how long ago didn't I connect with a specific person that I have in the pipeline right now, and what might be already like a good email to send to them, right? So I sent here, I see then some options. I can change here the tone of it. I can adapt the message. I can also talk with AI and rewrite the message completely and then send it out directly, right, to the person, to the emailing tool here. And in this way, I have like complete knowledge on all the ones that I have to follow up. And I mean, in this demo example, actually, I just see a few companies that I have to follow up. So this is easy. But I mean, in the real world, I have dozens of people that I have to continuously follow up to them. And yeah, before we had this tool, it was quite a hassle to remember like how and when and where, right, to go everywhere to the CRM every day and check this out where we are. How can we think about, like, I mean, what is the best thing that we can follow up with right now, specifically, right? And now that I have this tool, it just tells me, okay, look, these are the people that you have to follow up with today. This is what you should follow up with. And then I go through this and adapt this, right? On the other hand, the people that are not yet in the negotiation state, there we have a nurturing setup where we can also follow up to them. But there we have, like, we set our guides, we set them skills, we set them automation ideas, all these kind of things. And this works in that case then as well. Now, the last part is something that I really, really love. And that's the sales training aspect here. Now, everyone that is doing sales for some time knows that there are many, many details that you can improve upon, right? Many, many, many details. And the thing is that sometimes when we do this, we forget about it because we are just sitting alone with the other person. We have our online call and nobody tells us, was it no good? Wasn't it good? What can you improve? Of course, if you have a call with several people there, then you can discuss this later. But if you don't, then what? There is software out there, like the most prominent one is Gong. They do this, right? They do this wonderfully. They do this very good. but well, maybe you cannot afford Gong, right? Maybe this is not something that you want to implement just because of that feature. I mean, they have many other things as well, right? But maybe you just need this sales scoring. Well, then we can implement this for you here. And so the way how this works is it shows me the baseline, it shows me, you know, how long I talk in general on the calls, when do I switch, what is my average score, right? And then the scoring, there is also like the way how it's mapped, right? It says, okay, did I quantify the pain well? Did I mention the ICP fit well, or did I identify if the ICP fit is well, right? Did I map the stakeholders, etc., etc., etc. So all these things these are the things that are important in our case, but in your case, maybe there are completely other things that are really important in order to make sure that the call works for you specifically, right? And so now every day when we have these calls, we get automatically AI going to the transcripts, reading them, analyzing them, and giving here this report, right? So we can see here, for example, we click on this and we can see, okay, what have we done well and what haven't we done so well, right? And it says me exactly in which minute I did something well or I haven't done something well and why that's the case. And then it tells me also, what should I improve, right? What should I change the next time when I have the next call, and what should I definitely keep because this is like really good. And now, so this is great because I can get my sales calls better and better, and then of course get the conversions better, and then at the end of the day get more money into the business, right? But it's also great if you have several salespeople in the company, because you want to know, when you have several ones of them, who is actually doing what on which call, who is performing well, who is not performing so well. And this is like a very typical thing when you have like big sales organization, when you have like 10 people, 20 people, right? Then you like really analyze this well. But I think this is like super good also and super important for companies, even if you have just 2 or 3 salespeople, because you have to understand what's happening there. And so it's not about showing, okay, this is not the best and the worst person in the company. This is not the point. The point is like to become together better, right? To become like really together better and push the boundaries, push where you can get as a company, as a sales organization. And I think this is one of the most important things when you are running a sales organization. We need to look at these things here. And for me, it's mind-blowing to see that in many companies, even if they have several salespeople working there, it's not standard, right? They're not doing this. Well, but it is understandable also at the same time, because there aren't so many tools that do this, and it is complicated in the setup, and and maybe the way how you are doing sales doesn't really fit to the way how these tools are scoring your calls, right? So exactly. This is how we are doing this, and that's the way how we are implementing this also for the clients that are interested in these kind of solutions. We have also now the chat here, which we can use in order to just chat about all the data, all the things that we are looking at here, and this helps us then in the analysis. So if this is interesting for you, and you think that you could use something like this in your company, or you have some completely different ideas also when it comes to sales or marketing, something that really would drive additional value, would really drive additional outcome in your sales organization, let us know, and yeah, we would be happy to implement this and happy to help you out. So all the best, wish you a wonderful day. Ciao.